So, you've been told that you have high cholesterol, but do you? Hi everybody, clinic is in session. Dr. Bobby Striker here with Flow Physique Factory. Today we are talking about cholesterol, a pretty complicated subject, so we're going to be kind of going back to the basics. Now, you might think you know a lot about cholesterol, but there might also be a lot of stuff that you don't know. So I've done other videos about cholesterol before. You can check out our other videos on our medical YouTube channel on rescue. But in essence, cholesterol is like a lipoprotein. It's a protein packet with fats inside, and it's actually very important for the body. So your body actually produces most of the cholesterol in your circulation. So your body uses it for your nerves, or your brain cells, and for men, your body even uses cholesterol to produce the hormone testosterone. So if you start crashing your cholesterol by taking cholesterol medicines, you might crash your testosterone, and that's going to affect your gains in the gym. And having low levels of testosterone, of course, is the reason why women naturally have a difficult time putting on a lot of muscle. They can't really bulk up like guys sometimes can. But when is cholesterol actually high cholesterol? And that's what we're going to discuss today. And the thing is, the goalposts are quite different for different people. Let's think of an analogy here. Say you've got two cars. One car is a brand new sports car, straight out of the factory, 100-year warranty, fresh to hit the road. And then you've got maybe an 80-year-old car where the wheels have fallen off 3 times, it's never been serviced, and it's covered in rust. Which one would you want to kind of impose a speed limit on? The new sports car or the rusty old car that's never been taken care of and the wheels have already fallen off 3 times? If you think about it like that, I'm pretty sure you would say maybe we should say the driver of the old car not drive too fast. We'll set them on a lower speed limit. Whereas the guy with the sports car, if the car's brand new and fast and is designed for that purpose, maybe you can set that car to be driven on a faster lane on the expressway. You see how the goalposts are different. And the same is true for cholesterol. If you've had multiple heart attacks and strokes and you've already got diabetes and kidney issues and things like that, the target for your cholesterol, the level you want to keep your cholesterol at, is going to be very different to someone who is young, fit and healthy, has never had any problems before, and doesn't have any other cardiovascular risk factors. So the goalposts are different. So you can't just look at your cholesterol result and say, hey, I've got high cholesterol, I need to take medicines. You actually need to do a little bit of maths, okay? Cholesterol is a cardiovascular risk factor, but there are many, like smoking, blood pressure, obesity, whether you've got diabetes or not. The more risk factors you have, the more at risk you are, and hence the goalpost needs to be lower. You need to have a lower cholesterol to protect yourself. Whereas if you don't have any of these risk factors, you can probably get away with having a slightly higher cholesterol and still not have any problems. So we're going to do things a bit differently this session. I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to show you how to interpret your own cholesterol reports. And I'm also going to show you what sometimes well-meaning doctors, how they might misinterpret the results and advise that you need to go on a cholesterol-lowering medicine when you might not need to. By the end of this video, you're going to be a cholesterol master. You're going to be able to interpret your own results, and then you can decide, do you really need to take that statin, that cholesterol medicine to get your cholesterol down? Let's do it, guys. Class is in session. Okay guys, before we get into it, even though I'm an actual doctor, I want to remind you that I'm not your doctor. So if you are already on a statin, on a cholesterol lowering medicine, please do not suddenly stop your medicines after watching this video. There may well be unique factors in your medical background that I'm not aware of, so you should discuss with your own personal physician before making any choices like that. Okay? This video is purely for educational purposes. So with that being said, let's get into it. So up here on the screen we have some cholesterol results of one of my actual patients. This is an actual report from the lab. This young chap is only 33 years old, had seen another doctor and was told he should be on cholesterol lowering medicines. And of course at that age, taking a medicine like that and the prospect of taking medicines for the rest of your life is quite daunting. So of course he wanted a second opinion, came and had a chat with me, we repeated his blood test, and this is the result that the lab sent to me. So let's go through it. First of all, you've got your total cholesterol here, the HDL cholesterol, LDL and triglycerides. So what is all that? The total cholesterol is simply the sum of all of this together. So just looking at that by itself is not very helpful. Next thing, we've got the HDL cholesterol, so that's the high density lipoprotein, often referred to as the good cholesterol. Why? Because the higher this is, the better. It protects your heart. It can help to prevent heart attack and stroke and all of that stuff. It's cardioprotective. You see here, that's why they say greater than 1.5 is the optimal range. The higher, the better. So good cholesterol, you can boost this by taking things like omega fish oils, healthy fats from salmon, fatty fish, nuts and seeds, avocado, all that kind of stuff. So this is good cholesterol, helps to protect you. LDL, so this is the one that people refer to as the bad cholesterol. And when people say they have high cholesterol, this is the one that they're usually referring to. Low density lipoprotein, LDL cholesterol. So this is the one that can contribute to atherosclerotic plaque formation and all that kind of stuff, causing blockages in your heart and your brain, leading to heart attack and stroke. And then finally, you've got your triglycerides, that's the blood fat level. So LDL is the one we're going to be looking at here today. That's the actual bad cholesterol. And you can see here the result reference range, the optimal range printed here on the actual report itself is that it should be less than 2.6. So rightfully, there's a star here. This is in bold. It's 3.5. It's above the reference range. So this guy's got high cholesterol. Or does he? What does it say here? Remarks. Please refer to the MOH Clinical Practice Guideline, February 2016 on lipids, blah, 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 blah. What's that then? MOH is the Ministry of Health in Singapore. So I'm based in Singapore, guys, so I'm using the local guidelines here. They're pretty good. They're evidence-based guidelines. So wherever you are in the world, if you just want some guidance on how to interpret your results, you can use these. Or it might be better that you refer to your country's own unique guidelines, okay? So what is this? What is the MOH guidelines? Let's find out. So if you go to Google, you type in MOH lipid guidelines. There you go. You just click on this. And you'll be presented with this, Ministry of Health Singapore Lipid Guidelines. And I'm not going to ask you to read all this. I'm just going to show you two important things to kind of get to the meat. All right, let's do it. Risk stratification. You need to establish what your 10-year coronary artery disease risk is. See here at the bottom, 10-year risk. So if your risk of having a heart attack or a stroke within the next 10 years is less than 10%, you are considered a low-risk patient. If your risk is between 10 to 20%, you're an intermediate risk patient. And if your risk is more than 20%, you know, say you've got history of problems already, diabetes and other issues, kidney failure and all of that, then you're a high-risk patient. And up here, you've got the very high-risk patient. And depending on what your risk is, that will determine what your LDL target is, what level you want to have your bad cholesterol at. So remember, the goalposts change depending on what your risk is. And this is the target. For a low-risk group, your LDL target is to keep it less than 4.1, intermediate risk group less than 3.4, high risk less than 2.6, very high risk less than 2.1. So how do you know what your risk is? You need to do some maths. You need to use a cardiovascular risk calculator, and I like to use the Q-risk. It's a validated tool of choice in the UK and in many places. You can also use the Framingham score, but it tends to overestimate your cardiovascular risk. So if you click on this, you'll be presented with this, and go ahead and click the top one, Q-risk 3 for the latest one, and it's open to the public, so you can do this for yourself, and then you'll be presented with this screen. And on the left of the screen, that's where you key in all your details, your age, gender, your other tick boxes, including where you key in your cholesterol, blood pressure, height and weight. So let's do it for our patient. There we go. He's 33, male, Indian origin, non-smoker, no diabetes or significant family history, negative to all of this. There we go, his cholesterol HDL ratio, his systolic blood pressure, that's the top number, his height and weight. And if you click calculate risk, you get this. So his risk of having a heart attack or a stroke within the next 10 years is 0.7%. So in other words, in a crowd of 100 people with the same risk factors, only one is likely to have a heart attack or a stroke within the next 10 years. So if we remember, a low-risk patient is someone who's got a less than 10% risk. And this guy's risk is only 0.7%, so he's definitely a low-risk patient, which means his LDL target is less than 4.1. So let's look at his results again. Suddenly his cholesterol doesn't look so high. So once you actually do the proper calculations, his LDL cholesterol is within target. So he is actually not a high cholesterol patient. So I have no idea why they print this on here, this artificial and arbitrary reference range, which is not appropriate for every patient. So you can see why some doctors may see this and be put off and just look at it at face value and assume that it means the patient has high cholesterol. But of course, doctors should also do their due diligence to do the calculations. But we've done it here. So this patient's 10-year risk is low, his LDL target is less than 4.1. He does not have high cholesterol. And if you have your results, you can do the same maths, do the calculations, see whether your cholesterol is high or not. If you're on a statin, maybe you need to be. Go and have a chat with your doctor. But if you're low risk and you've got absolutely no medical background and your results are like this, then at least you can have some peace of mind. So hopefully this gives you some framework on how we approach cholesterol readings. Yep. So there you go, guys. I hope that explains how you should approach interpreting your cholesterol result. Again, remember, even though I'm a doctor, I'm not your doctor and I don't know your unique medical background. So if you're not sure, do go and discuss your results with your own physician and get them to go through it, discuss with you, and really get to the bottom of this. But this should give you a good starting ground. Know what the different cholesterol levels are, what does it mean, where you should go from here. Okay guys, I really hope you liked this video. I hope it's been useful. If you liked it, please like it, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification button, and do follow us on our other social media pages. And you are going to want to see the second part of this video, which is going to be coming your way soon, and that is what happened to my cholesterol on and off a keto diet. It's pretty alarming stuff. You're going to want to watch that. Okay guys, yeah, stay tuned. We'll see you soon. Don't be late for your next appointment. Laters guys. Bye everyone.